they think that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, I'm here. Who wants to fight me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter beat me.
Demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. What's going on out there? Positive vibes to everybody that can hear my voice. Melazar, what's up? What's up? Salute, Melazar. I appreciate you, homie. Hope all is well with you. I was just sitting here thinking about how, the time zone thing going. There's always spring forward and fall back. And you gotta stay current with the times and all that. And then we damn near got 70-degree weather out here. I was just telling my lady, I said, man, they messing with us because they manipulate the time. They manufacturing a whole 70 degrees. When they were just calling for snow just the other day. But they mess with the time, they mess with the temperature. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to turn on no AC or nothing like that, because that's how you get pneumonia in your butt. So we gonna thug it out. Put on the fan here too. Let the sun go down and cool it. Just vibing, man. Getting the pulse of boxing, man. AC say salute. Bodywork salute. AC. Baseball weekend, yeah, man. I'm walking the dog, but send me an email. Finally, spring is around the corner. Yeah, I know you about to be busy, Melazar, man. That's why I was trying to have you get on as much as possible, because I know your season about to change and you're a working man, you get busy with your hand. I understand. Because even though I'm doing my own thing, I still work with my hands and my feet and my eyeballs. Because I be riding. But I just wanted y'all to vibe out for a second to the music, man, and let everybody get settled in, man. I hope everybody is enjoying their Sunday, man. You are on the right side of the earth. Church. And we ain't gonna manufacture no false confidence or nothing. Even though I'm familiar. We're gonna be genuine. We're gonna be authentic. We just gonna talk a little bit of that boxing talk. And pardon me if I ask you to use your medulla oblongata for a minute. Oh man, this channel is off the chain, man. We're gonna ask you to use your brain today. I'm sorry. You know, a lot of y'all ain't gonna have time for that. But we're gonna drop a lot of facts. We're gonna put stakes in the ground, aka all the facts. Because when it comes to body work, we're gonna give you all the facts. You gotta love that. But how everybody feeling, man? Cookie Monster. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Sounding crystal clear. You know that's what I like to hear. Okay. I feel you, mailers out, man. Positive vibes your way, man. Life be lifing, man. Like, that's one of the things I heard Coach Prentice Brewer, man, say, you know, when we got a chance to interview him. That's one of my favorite up and rising. He said, man, life be lifing. And I swear, I had never heard nobody else say it, but like 4 days before, like four or 5 days before he said it, man, I was just like, life be lifing. So he was on that interview, like, man, life be life. And I'm like, man, that's why, man, that's one of my coaches, man. Real recognized, real. Life be life in Melazar. Somehow, some way, we got to figure out how to fix that, you know, whatever it is, man. And give it time, meditate on it, be positive about it, exhaust all of our options to solve the problems. You know, take the high road. Take a deep breath, exercise, meditate, walk away for a second, come back, revisit, regroup, rethink, reshoot. That's what we do. But hit my like button, y'all. Do some body work on my like button, y'all. But once I get, I'm giving y'all time. I'm saying, man, I you know, in my videos, if y'all ever seen my videos, my graphics and all that, when that dude come on and say, ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelt. I'm trying to give y'all time. You know how when you board the plane and you got to get your goods settled and you know, move around. You might use the bathroom one time for the one time. You figure out your feet situation. You get your bags and everything settled. Whether you're going to read your book, you know, do your crossword puzzle or your Sudoku, whatever. The pilot say, hey, man, you know, get settled in. You know, and they give you all the pleasantries before they say fasten your seatbelt. That's what your boy doing for you, man. We just vibing for a second, man. Share the video. Let people know we live, man. Let everybody know we live, man. Don't take my word for it. D Calico said this channel was one of the best kept secrets on YouTube. I didn't say that. D Calico said that. We not gonna keep no secrets around here. But yeah, we just gonna put something on your mind, and yeah, it's gonna be one of them. This is gonna be one of them days where we're gonna have you think and look, and I'm gonna inundate you with facts and stats and, you know, conversation and all of that. It's not gonna be one of them ones where you come in and just troll and say the same old talking points or piggyback off of some shit you heard somewhere else. Nah. It's not gonna be one of them days. It's gonna be one of them days when I'm like, look, man, let's refocus. Let's put our eyeballs back on the sport and let's be cognizant of what we're watching, what we're witnessing, what's going on. That's all I'm gonna do for you, man. But this is the pulse of boxing. The official episode 6 is way more episodes, but when I officially started counting and saying, okay, cool, whenever I do these episodes, I'm gonna do it this way and I'm gonna label it like this. We've been giving you the pause, but this is the official pause. EP6. And my main app was Scrap on my co-pilot. who got the whole YouTube streets landing their planes all over the place. He got a special day. So he'll be with us in spirit and in the chat. But you got to keep the honey on the moon. If I'm not at work and I'm not doing my thing on YouTube, I'm somewhere keeping the honey on the moon and whatever I can do. So I understand. And with no further ado, we're going to get into some housekeeping, y'all. How about that? Y'all like that? We're going to do some housekeeping. Number one, why are some fighters exempt from rematches? Why are some fighters exempt from rematches, y'all? So we got to look at this, man. Like, it's a lot of weird energy out here, and I always go by, like, when you go by, I always use the standard. Like, if you know the standard, right, then you have the standard, right? That could be how somebody's moving, or, you know, the protocol for a call out with the appropriate activity to follow behind it. Like, you have standards, like the way David Morrell pursued David Benavidez. That was like a standard, and then it culminated in him. Yeah, he didn't win, but it culminated in him moving, saying, you know, the energy matching, the handshake matching the smile, the energy matching the call out, all of that, and he pursued. So we have that standard. So then when we measure, okay, when you're pursuing somebody and you want to fight somebody, we have those kind of standards. So we got things, benchmarks that we can look at and say, okay, cool, this is how such and such did it. Now, the results was the results, just like Earl Spence and Bud. The standard was how Earl was moving. He collected 3 straps. You know, I don't do tune-ups. He got his own slogan, Mr. No Tune-ups, and keep that same energy. Earl Spence is known for that. He fell short, but that was the standard. Like how he was moving, how he don't do tune-ups, like how, like everything, like even not the standard as to how he conceded with his A side, for real. But to appease his fans, he did what he needed to do. That's why Earl is demand. So that's the standard. But I noticed when it come down to rematches, right? It's different strokes for different folks. You got a case like O'Shaquie. Well, O'Shaquie got pickpocketed on the scorecards. He did his rematch with Conceição and, you know, did his thing. He shouldn't have got pickpocketed the first time. But that was a rematch necessary. He went ahead and did it. He got, you know what I'm saying, the strap back, all of that. But we know he shouldn't have never been relieved of his strap. It was the Teflon Don that night. But if you go with a guy like Tank, right? Right now, he got at least 3 rematches that would be viable rematches if he ever decide. If he ever decide to fight Ryan again, people gonna watch it. You know, it's heavily rumored that he get ready to fight Isaac Pitbull Cruz. You know, people are virtual signaling about that, trying to make it seem like I'm not that biased. Yeah, I hate this fight. I better shut the fuck up. It makes sense now. It didn't always make sense to a lot of people. Why? Because the same thing we were saying, like the same thing Shakorians were saying when it came down to De Los Santos, and I'm gonna get to this in a second. Maybe that man with one hand, man. Why move for, man? Same thing with Tank, but the standard for Tank was no, he got to see Pitbull again. It was the same thing. Way better fight. They didn't set a record for output that night. Tank was in there boxing. If you go back and you want to actually see all the skills Tank got as far as a boxer, that's the one. That's why I got so much playback value. How many people are going back aside from somebody like me who I be wanting to do my research? How many of y'all went back and watched that De Los Santos versus Shakur fight? I have. But for Tank, you know, he could do a Ryan rematch. You know what I'm saying? Big money fight, blah, blah, blah. Ryan caught him a couple times before. You know what I'm saying? He caught Ryan and then ultimately caught Ryan, and you know, Ryan was like, nah, I'm good. I'll live to fight another day. Didn't go the distance. Then you got the Roach, the controversial draw, the taking of Zini. So those are three legitimate people in some shape, form, or fashion. People are always calling for a variation in any one of them. So if it pops out that it's a variation in any one of them and it gets across the line and that's what's going to happen, okay, what you crying for? And then the energy of what the fans were saying and what the public and the masses and the fans, like different fan bases and all that, was saying is that those are viable options for Tank to have a rematch. Okay, so let's parking lot Tank. Let's put him in a box. Let's compartmentalize Tank. Let's put him away for a second. I just gave you three examples, three acceptable forms and fashions. And I would even say if Frank Martin go ahead and become a champion and do, you know what I'm saying, whatever, people would say, oh shit, Tank caught him when he was green. They would be trying for that, but we ain't gonna. I don't do possibles. Like if you was my spades partner, I ain't gonna tell you I got 3 in the P. I'm even gonna tell you I'm gonna get you 3 or I'm gonna get you 4. I don't do the possibles, so we're not gonna do no possibles. I'm just gonna say Tank got 3 rematches to where if they come up and they come across the docket, okay, STFU if they come across the docket. People cramming and played games online and requested and demanded and spoke so much, hours and hours for it. That's why it's an item. But I want to show y'all something. You never sent the link. Oh, I'll send it to you. I just didn't want to get distracted because I got a lot going on right now. I'll send it to you. No problem. No problem. Let me see. I thought I did, though. Yeah, I just wanted to flow through these housekeeping real quick, and then we all can cook because I got you. I got you, brother. I got you, brother. Don't worry, it's there. So I got okay. I want to show y'all something. Let me see. Let me take this down. Let me show y'all that. Let's start with Devin. The closest Devin Haney decisions, right? We had Lomachenko at a time where almost 2 years prior, a year and some months. So I'm not gonna, if I'm gonna be honest, I can't say it quite 2 years, but a year and multiple months. Like you can round it off to 2 years, but we're gonna say a year and some change, just to give Devin credit. A year and some change before he fought Lomachenko, he said Loma was too small and too old. I got the videos. Go back through the videos and look at it. But that score was 115, 113. That was the most controversial score. Some people had Loma winning. Me personally, I said Devin edged it out. Why? Because Loma got too cocky, thought he had it in the bag. And you might have said even minus the 12th round. I just said, no, that was a mistake because Devin went to work in the 12th round. He went to work in the 12th round. I see you, Melazar. Salute, man. I'm just going through this housekeeping, but salute. You on here, man. Frontline, Bodywork. Salute Frontline, salute. But there was a demand for the rematch. Some people actually had Loma winning that fight, but it was a demand for it. But like, you know what all of the DHP OnlyFans, the D-Hive, aka the D-Hive said? Ah, man, what do you want to see that rematch, man? Come on, man. Like, come on, man. He did like, what for, man? What for? Because look at the scorecard. Let's look at it. But it was okay that he didn't do that. He didn't do that rematch. He got the fuck up out of Dodge because that was the same time when Bill came on and said there'll be no other champion at 35. And Church came up and said, the young Lord Devin Haney is going to 140. Shorty, you about to get naughty. When he used to drop all the little corny rhymes. But I miss Church, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, so I said, man, I'm following Church, man. Church, the gospel, preach. And what wound up happening? Bill lied once again, which we've grown accustomed to, and Church was right. Because Shakur hopped in that ring with him after the Loma fight. Devin got out that ring, and guess what? He got out that division. He redeemed himself when he picked Reed's Prograde to go up to the very next division, taking a challenge, challenge like that. He uses WBC, aka his leverage. Unlike Boots with the WBA and the IBF going to his 154. I'm gonna digress. And he got Regis Prograde, put in demolition, made me eat crow. Okay? But we didn't get no rematch for that. The Linares card, 115, 113. The Cambosos card, he went 24 rounds with that guy. Jojo Diaz, 116, 112. Okay, cool. Remember, Ryan never beat the out of Devin on 4/20/24. It never happened, remember? Even though if you really wanted to see like what it would look like if Ryan were to beat the shit out of Devin, like it's plenty of material out here. Guess what? Now people are saying there's no rematch. Why? Because soon as Ryan won, guess what they started saying? Vada, and PED. Man, that's dog talk, man. If the dude, I'm tired of this. When people don't pop and don't nothing go on and ain't no adverse, whatever, you can't do that. That is duck talk. That's duck talk. That's the same shit that when Shakur saw with Ryan did to Mario Barrios in the back, he was like, "Oh man, you really not that big." But when they asked him when he was live on camera when it was the Shakur show, when it really should have been the Ryan, whatever, the first thing come out of his mouth like, "Oh yeah, man, VADA testing will be." That's duck talk. But that's two rematches that nobody could really ask for, nobody really could clamor for, and we allowed Devin Haney to get up out of there. And like to this day right now, they saying that everybody making all these excuses as to, oh man, with Devin is the A side. If you think Ryan is duck talk. But he got out of both of them rematches. Maybe we will get a Ryan. I don't know. Maybe they playing chess, maybe whatever. But it's looking like something else about to happen. Something that should have been happening. Like when Maul told Rolly, like, yeah, go ahead and go for Devin, and Bill shitted on him for that. And said, oh man, that drunk, don't listen to him, only for them to come full circle. The channel be on it, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. But listen, that's that one example. That's that one example. This is the other example. With the Conceição fight, remember, Shakur blew weight. But the closest official call on that one was 115, 113. I mean, that's how one judge saw it. Guess what happened? The De Los Santos fight was 115, 113, and then 116 to 112 range. There was no rematch. You know what? Oh man, he beat that man with one hand. He pump faked him. They set a record for output. The Core Hive, they say the same thing. Oh man, why y'all want him? See, Tank just want to see him get beat. Like, because remember Tank said rematch De Los Santos. Everybody was, man, they panties was in a bunch. I'm like, man, you're gonna get one of them yeast infections, you know what I'm saying? You don't get your drugs out your butt like that. Like, you know, I mean, because all he said is rematch. Everybody want to see it. Just like the same reason why people want to see Cruz and Tank, where Tank is fully armed. But no, nobody said no, but man, for what, man? Why y'all want to see him? Why? Because the closest scorecard, it's funny how the closest scorecard, because Shakur Stevenson really be gapping him up. Even though he don't got a gap no more, he be gapping people on the scorecard. No pun intended. It be a significant gap. So in the range where, like in Tank case, because 3 people survive, if he don't knock you out, oh man, they gotta rematch him again. The only one they not calling for that again with is that guy Jeremy Moraes. Go figure. That was a 6th rounder early on. But the other 2 guys, because he didn't knock him out, guess what? He gotta go rematch him. But when you're a fencer, a defense firstologist, when it comes down to what would demand a rematch, one, it would be a very close fight. One where they did not count De Los Santos for all the body work he was doing. The fact that fighters get awarded for aggression and all that, like making the fight, bringing the action. Like only when I heard somebody else say this, I'm not taking credit for this, but somebody else very profound said this. And I was like, wow, that's bars. It's not, this is not mine, but it made so much sense. I'm going to give them their credit and say, listen, it only comes down to Shakur. It's only come down to certain boxers when they're not forcing the action and picking the fight and their output is not all that or whatever, then they get credit for their defense. Otherwise, you get, when you're making the fight, being the aggressor, even hell, when you go back and look at Virgil versus Boychuk, the man got dropped twice. They said Virgil was outboxing. Now, Virgil is not known to be an outboxer. He's a piranha. He's just like Mr. Gary Antoine Russell. Pressure fighters, they're not going to give you space, time, and distance. They can crack. They go to the body. They go upstairs, you know what I'm saying? But they're known for doing body work, relentless pressure. Those are the kind of fighters they are. Gary having to have another set of skills. He can actually box better and all that. But like Virgil, that's not what he was. They awarded Virgil the verdict for that fight. But it's only when you get a fighter like Shakur Stevenson, who's very defensive, very safe, play it safe, don't take no chances, he gets all the credit for all the defense. But remember, in the rounds that Pitbull Cruz chose to be on the back foot, they gave him those cards based on what? Ring generalship. When that's not Pitbull's style of fighting. Hence how we really got to draw with Lamont Roach. So in a fight with De Los Santos, a fight that was a high demand, that rematch was never demanded. It was demanded, but it was enough people that was like pro Shakur and anti big fight that somehow the fight never made sense. However, it made sense for his brother, Wily Kid, or Wily Cat, whatever you want. I think Wily Kid come first, so he'd be Wily Cat, aka Robin, to the Batman and Shakur. He put him on the slot. They never fought, you know what I'm saying? So it was a pump fake. It was a grandmaster pump fake. They never fought. But he was slated on the docket, and we never got that either. So the fans got on like twice by the same guy, De Los Santos, and guess what? Brian Norman just signed him. No news on that. Now, ain't nobody talking about that. I'm like, wow, that's a power move, bro. Joel Gonzalez, 116, 111. That was the last one. But it was no rematch for De Los Santos. Where's the pressure? They be saying that I guess Shakur just be gapping people so much that he don't even got to do a rematch, even in the controversial thing. The same reason why we want to see Tank and Pitbull again. To see if Pitbull is really built like that, or to see if he really got Tank number, or you know, whatever, however you want to call it, whatever. It's open for your interpretation. But I just gave y'all a firm example, several examples of how there is never no demand for Devin and them to rematch nobody. They're letting them slip off the hook with this Ryan. I don't want to hear all that duck talk about VOD and all that. Last time I checked, Ryan went into a championship where you know they had to cross all their T's and dot all their I's. Why? He was fighting a PBC fighter in Mario Barrios. Remind you, he was fighting a PBC fighter in Tank at the time, and Tank made him do everything, drug testing or whatever, since he afforded him a pound because they was competing for the 135. He afforded him a pound and said, no, you ain't gonna be able to get no bigger than that. People cried. But again, he was going against a PBC fighter where they was gonna cross all their T's and dot all their I's. In a championship bout, you don't think it was gonna be all eyes on him and they was gonna make sure? Plus, this is the second fight Even though he lost the last one, where there was no talk about and no talk about no popping hot or no nothing. That's just an excuse. That's duck talk. But they letting Devin out of it. They giving him an easy route, an easy pass to be able to go do. You know what I'm saying? And that's not there. Go fight Rolly. We want to see that. Yeah, the fans want to see that. Okay, cool. We accept that. It's a unification and all that. Okay, cool. No problem. But to not hold him accountable for the Ryan fight, anything other than they got to fight and he got to get his lick back is quack. I'm gonna leave that at that. But it's never no tension for Shakur, and I'm starting to see that fan like. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna move on. That's the first one. The second one. Fans of Linguini method fighters should STFU. Yeah. AKA put a sock in it. AKA close your pie hole. If your fighter is one of these Linguini method fighters where they out here just throwing all kind of pasta up on the fridge, waiting to see which one stick and if it's ready, y'all should STFU. And I got some information. Melazar, what's going on, man?
What up, G? I'm over here listening to you, you know, throwing all that fire. You know, some of these guys, they like to talk trash and calling out boxers and shit, but at the end of the day, they don't come and fight. You know, I hear you the other day talking about the boogeyman, right? Like the boogeyman kind of lost against other boxers all the time, but the guys that avoid the boogeyman, now they're talking trash. Oh, they're not that good. But you never fought him. You always avoided him. So
exactly. And I wanted to holler at you so you wouldn't be in the background to let you know, but I got information. I just wanted to give you time to get whatever you had out real quick. But I got some more stuff though. I'm gonna keep cooking. All right, man. I'm gonna keep cooking. So we talking about the Linguini method, and it's only a couple ways I can really demonstrate this, but I gotta go through this because y'all need to see this, man. Y'all need to hear about this and put something in your rucksack to march on with. So I'm gonna show y'all something. Where I'm at. So I think it's on there. Let me see. It should be showing. I don't know if it's a delay or whatever, but it should be showing. Can you see that, Melazar? Okay, here you go. All right, we on. We in there like swimwear.
Yes.
All right, let me see.
Yes.
What do I do? Okay, it was up there. Okay, all right. So in boxing, right? Boxing strategy, calling out multiple opponents. This is what I be talking about when I be giving their brief. If you ever hear me say Linguini, like how people be saying, how Peyton used to say Omaha, I'm talking about Linguini. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. The Linguini method, right? Where you throw however many names you can up on the fridge, you see what stick, and then afterwards, I told y'all I was going, but like all the other names, we giving you a pass. Like we got to stop this shit. Calling out multiple opponents in boxing. Analysts sometimes discuss a tactic informally known as the multi-call-out strategy. A fighter publicly calls out several big names at once. To fans, it can appear bold, but in practice, it can dilute negotiations so much that none of the fights actually happen. Eureka! Boxing journalists have discussed this pattern for years because it can function as a publicity shield. If you call out everyone, it looks like you are willing to fight anyone. Bars. Number one, media discussion of the call-out game. Many boxing writers describe the tactic where fighters name multiple opponents to control the narrative. Outlets such as The Ring, Boxing Scene, and ESPN have noted that fighters sometimes call out several names to build leverage, stay in the media cycle, or claim an opponent avoided the fight if negotiations failed. Eureka! Fighters historically accused of doing this. I wish they would have used different examples. I could have plugged and put in something else for a different example, but I said, okay, cool. At the time, so I don't want Ryan to think I'm shitting on him right now, but at the time, this is the example that was used. Fans and analysts have pointed to several high-profile examples where fighters called out many opponents simultaneously. One often discussed case involved Ryan Garcia, who at various times publicly called out Tank, Dev, T.O., and Manny Pacquiao before some of those fights ever materialized. Now, the Tank fight went on to materialize, but you get the point. Critics sometimes describe this as name-dropping fights rather than negotiating them. Promoters acknowledge the tactic, so they're going level by level by level. Promoters have occasionally admitted that public call-outs are part of negotiation theater. Acts, WWE, WWF. Fighters may call out multiple champions to test fan reaction. They're doing an experiment with y'all. Pressure sanctioning bodies, leaning on the sanctioning bodies. Wow. Or increase their bargaining position during purse negotiations. Somebody got to hit my like button, man. Somebody got to go to deliver on my like button, man. The anyone from this list maneuver. Pay attention. The anyone from this list maneuver. Another variation occurs when fighters publicly say they will fight anyone from a list of several opponents. While it sounds fearless, the reality is that each fight can involve different promoters, networks, and financial terms, which often prevents negotiations from actually closing. You're peacocking, man. Peacocking is what I'm calling that. Showing all your pretty feathers and shit. Acting like you in the mess hall with your chest out. But when somebody come over and say, I'm about to come over there and take that motherfucking cornbread, you run the other direction, and mysteriously now you got an opponent and you fighting, in May, and come on, man. Fighters acknowledging promotion tactics. Some boxers themselves have admitted that calling out multiple opponents is part of promotion. Mentioning several names can keep a fighter trending online, pressure rivals to respond, and keep them relevant in championship discussions, i.e., when Boots beat Lima, he called out Mel, he called out Bakram, he called out Virgil, he called out everybody. Guess what he's doing? Sitting by the dock of the bay, wasting time. He was attached to everybody. He ain't got to fight with nobody. Because boxing does not have a centralized schedule like many other sports. Fights are created through negotiation. That system encourages narrative gamesmanship. That's what it's called. It's called narrative gamesmanship. It's chestnut checkers, y'all. Sometimes multiple call-outs signal genuine ambition. Sometimes it's genuine. Like with I can't even classify as Abdullah calling nobody out, but when Abdullah speaks, man, I believe him. When Brian Norman speaks, I believe him. Even after the loss to Devin, I believe him. When David Benavidez speaks, I believe him. That's genuine ambition. Other times, they simply create the image of willingness. Like, I'll come over there and beat down your leg while avoiding a risky matchup, y'all. And for y'all convenience, this is boxing strategy, y'all. If this is not part of your conversation and your logic and your rationale and all that, when y'all here talking boxing and you thinking that your boxer doing something by going in the ocean and calling on a pit bull and then saying that, you know, I hit Debo with a brick. If all these things is what it is, this is what it is, y'all. It's promotion. Narrative gamesmanship. That's what that is. That's number 2. That's the last one. I thought PBC was a sinking ship. It's like a lot of people was having their last laugh talking about PBC. Well, if Devin, let's just say because people be saying he the face of boxing, even though I highly contest, even though he's gaining a little bit more respect. Especially if he get this Rolly out the way and he unify, okay, that's another notch in the belt for you. That's like, okay, that's another step of me, like, taking my foot out your ass for actually doing something that we asked. But it's looking like he going over there to the PBC. It looking like Lamont going back to back, like coming, like that look like that PBC affiliation, that little, you know what I'm saying, that PBC money, that shit looking like it's all right if you going back to the well. Now, nothing is finalized. But boy, oh boy, it's looking like there is a resurgence. Why? Because a lot of people played the political game. They act like PBC fighters hadn't been fighting all this time. Now, some of the marquee names have stepped away. They were on a hiatus, but PBC fighters were making moves. And every time it happened, they're like, oh, I thought they were PBC. Ha, ha, ha. Look at Turkey. Y'all remember what Earl Smith said? Tables turn. It's looking like PBC ain't doing that bad at all. And they happen to go through a change where they actually got a network. Now they got names. Now they building it up. And y'all acting like the sugar daddy, aka the Trojan horse, didn't have shit to do with buying up all these opponents. And I just now connected a dot. Do y'all realize that when it comes down to David Benavidez, who was really a PBC fighter, do y'all realize that Turkey has been targeting or manipulating or tampering with anybody that could potentially have been a big name for this man? Do y'all think that there's any irony with this Jao Obatai bullshit? And that's supposed to be Devin, that's supposed to be his big. Now, he went and got Zerto. He didn't have no control over Zerto. That's Golden Boy. But is it any irony that now it's with Jao Obatai? Somebody got to hit my like button, man. Like, do y'all remember when Bivol was getting ready? Because remember, David went out there, he talked to Turkey, he did everything he was supposed to do. He was supposed to get the one off Bivol and Beterbiev. Remember what happened when that fight was getting ready to happen before David went and fought Anthony Yard on Riyadh? You know what Turkey said? Hey, man, Bivol, don't bite the hand that feeds you. So he tampered with that fight. What happened with Beterbiev and Benavidez? That's a PBC fighter. Y'all realize that? David Benavidez grabbed the bull by the horns and he got that Cinco de Mayo and he got that Zerto fight. And he got to cross his fingers that somebody don't slip that man an envelope and all of a sudden he got the swine flu, the duck flu, whatever. Y'all got to put Zerto in bubble wrap. Why? Because if he can't control the main piece, how he was trying to have an acquisition for Tank, he's going to buy up all the opposition. I hope a light bulb just popped off. But it's some 50 cent shit. If I can't get no money with you, then fuck it. That's how Turkey was thugging it out. So if you couldn't be the main piece or you couldn't come over there and facilitate anything he had going on his card, he's going to buy out the ops. Connect the dots. But PBC look like it's getting ready to be up, y'all, and it's going to be a whole lot of people reporting on fights, commentated by Moro Rinaldi and all them, the guy with the spectacular commentary and the whole game. It's like the gang getting back. The boys are back in town and the band is getting back together. It's going to be a lot of people coming back hat in hand, acting whatever. But we ain't going to do y'all the same way y'all did a lot of people who had affinity for PBC fighters. We ain't going to do all of that. We ain't going to do some shit like laugh at Jamel Charlo and clown him and do all this knowing goddamn well Boots need an opponent. on some dumb shit. We ain't gonna do that. We gonna say, nah, go ahead, Boots. Go on, get it on with PBC, man. That's all we gonna do. And it's the last thing I'm gonna say before we open it up and we all cook is I heard Party Malignaggi in the Pro Box click. And Party Malignaggi is the only one that really kind of get on my nerves. Sometimes he's like 80-20. 80% of the shit, no, more like 90% of the shit Party say I hate. 10% is like, okay, cool. As long as I can't peep his agenda, it's cool. Like the 10% is golden. It's appreciated, it's respected. The 90%, because I know he be biased as a motherfucker. I just sit up here and listen to him talk about how it was a wonderful, beautiful job in what Bill did, giving Devin all these faded glory champions. Jorge Linares, Jojo Diaz, like these guys who were past it, who Devin had all the advantages, the height, the size, the age. I got a whole video about that. Because his biggest knee pad wearing fan said he went through murderer's row. And I was like, bitch, where? And I pointed out that he always had the age advantage. He always had the height. He always had the reach. He always had the athleticism. He always had the activity. He always caught them at an inopportunity. I highlighted all these things. They was already past it. They started giving hindsight of 2020 praise to Bill for doing it, which was clever on Bill. But in real time, when people say, oh, man, come on, man, when you love them Cougars, we were hating. But now he get praised for fighting the Cougars. And then they'll sit around and tell you in the same breath that people are avoiding Boots and they want too much money to fight Boots and they want this and this and that. Meanwhile, we got one of them with what they would deem as a faded glory champion in Jermell Charlo sitting right there calling out Boots. Say, hey, I'll be your Huckleberry. Hey, just tell Eddie, just to hit me up. Tell me what they think I'm worth and let's negotiate it out. Like, I ain't asking for too much. I just want to have a conversation. I just want to be your boogeyman. I just want to go ahead and tap that ass with your boogeyman. That's all I want to do. They don't even bring that up. But they applauded Devin for doing it with, why are they doing that? Why? Because they want to be in Bill, they want to be in the DHP's good graces. They want to be good with the D-Hive. They want to be good with the Beehive, and that's Boots and them. But they ain't going to tell the truth on none of them. And that's what this channel is all about. The truth is, Devin did build a legacy on Faded Glory Champion, and that's how he got his cachet up. That and YouTube and using Eddie. That's why Eddie feel the way he feel about Devin now, because Eddie was the one that did all the heavy lifting when it came out to getting Devin, and Devin shitted on him. And sold that butt to the highest bidder wherever he went after that. Now he's doing the same thing with Boots, where it's signed contract with Josh Kelly. And we told you back in November when he hopped his ass in that ring with Ortiz that the fact wasn't going to happen, but y'all got your blood pressure high. Y'all put all that eggs in that one basket, and what Eddie do? He wet the bed. Couldn't make it happen. Golly. Jermell Charlo was right there. PBC got all this business going on, all these cards going on. Ain't no light bulb pop up and say, hey, man, maybe since Conor Ben left us and we should have been did Boots and Conor Ben, but since he jumped ship, maybe we should look at this Jermell Charlo and get on one of these PBC cards, one of these 5 or 6 cards that they got coming up. Maybe that beats sitting by the dock of the bay, wasting time. That's the housekeeping. That's the housekeeping, Melazar. What you got on that, Melazar? Anything? Well, I'll proceed to give you what you need. Let me make sure of one thing. Let me see something here. I gotta make sure. I gotta make sure one thing, man. I know I dropped a lot of stuff. I know I'm getting you to use your medulla oblongata, and I'm spitting a lot of facts, yada yada yada. But stop me when I'm lying, y'all. Just had to make sure my man got the link.
I am right here too. Whew.
So I know I dropped a lot, but that's just some things that have been on my mind initially, man, like with the sport and you know, how people are moving and what's going on. It's like fans are just letting people get away with certain things, and I don't understand it, Miller.
Yeah. Yeah, the sport of boxing always brings some bullshit. A bunch of boxers talking trash, you know. We want our excitement. That's what we want. It's like I see a lot of people talking shit about Rolly sometimes, trashing him out and stuff like that. But nobody want to jump inside the ring with him. You know? He's not the most stylish boxer. Like, you're not like, when you're gonna watch Rolly Romero, you're not watching a stylish boxer that box beautiful and throw point. No, he just go over there and find a way to win and beat you up and hammer you down. You know, like no, he's easy work, but you don't get in the ring and fight him. What the fuck? Are you not searching for a fight? Are you not searching to be the bag? So he's right there. Why you don't beat him up? No. Mira, Kishon went to Puerto Rico, right? Ojo Santiago. Like, what I get mad with my people. Some of my people, oh, you need to stop feeling ashamed or whatever because we're Puerto Rican. No, we're American. We have to speak English. And more, if you want to pick up a fight with a Moreno, with an American that speak English, you cannot go over there and pick up a fight speaking Spanish. The motherfucker don't understand you. Right? So Ojo Santiago, when I saw Kishon in Puerto Rico, when was the WBO, you know, Kishon was over there in the tropical weather, calling out Haney, calling out these guys. Yo, so Ojo Santiago went over there and said, yo, let's fight. You know, I'm the number 3, actually number 2 in the WBO. You're the number 1. Let's fight. But because he don't speak English, Kishon told me, oh, when you're somebody, we can fight. Wait a minute. Ojo Santiago bring people to the fucking stadium. You know, we can make a fight in Virginia, in your hometown, in West Virginia. We can make a fight in New York, in Boston, and we're gonna pack up the place. You're gonna make your money, I make my money. Let's fight, right? Why you're calling out these names that don't bring nobody to the stadium when I'm right here? I wanna fight you, and we're gonna, you know, like we can make a big bag, whatever. But he don't speak Spanish, and Kishon is like, no, you know, like I'm way levels over you. My name is more famous, and yeah, in your group. But this is boxing. What?
The thing is, De Los Santos don't really either. He tried. He do more. He do a little. He more active on social media when he got a fight, but he don't either. But the thing is, you know, the irony of it is, Mauricio Sulman said it was a period of like 21 days where he could have really made that fight with Lomachenko when that whole franchise thing happened. But guess what they did? They went and stamped that belt, and that was the first fight that Santiago had in the States. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was green to fighting in the States. The same way De Los Santos lost that first fight to William Foster. It was his first fight in the States. He stamped that belt against Alfredo Santiago. But if you don't know your history, because it's crazy when you're spelling somebody, it's like you want to fight a Pitbull Cruz. Why? Because he fought Tank. Because he fought Lamont Roach now. Like you, because he fought Rolly. Like you want to do that, but like a guy who Devin stamped that 35 belt when he got emailed that belt, he stamped that belt with his first defense was against Santiago. Now he ain't big enough. He did the same thing to Cruz, and Cruz beat him in the Olympics, but he wasn't good enough. So that's what I say. They give certain fighters like carte blanche to just say and move however they want.
Yeah, but they quickly say, oh, the Haney beat you. Yeah, but was 2 weeks notice. Okay, I even trained for that fight. They gave me 2 weeks, and I got ready to fight Devin Haney in 2 weeks. So, and I lasted 12 rounds. So what you're talking? Right?
And it was danger in them first 3 rounds. Like he caught Devin with some big right hands. Like he was fucking Devin up in them first couple rounds before Devin made the adjustment. Now Devin, to his credit, he made the adjustment. But if he was more well prepared, that fight might have had a different complexion. Like, not saying Devin might not have still won, but like short notice is short notice.
Yes, it is. And anyway, that was in 135. Now he's in 140. Got new trainers, new stuff, you know. And it's a good fight because the guy is ranked number 2. So you're not fighting a nobody that is in rank. If you're Keishan, you're gonna fight the number 2 rank. And people know him. He got people that follow him and fill up stadium. But the problem, like always, I mean, people don't like to hear that. But if you don't speak fucking English, you cannot make money. You're gonna depend on your promoter, on somebody that talk for you, so other to create fight. But the people, the fans, will not gonna follow you because you don't speak the language. We're not Mexico, that Mexico have 32 states and it's huge, and you can stay in Mexico and make money there because it's a freaking huge country, right? But we, the Caribbean islands, bro, we need to fight in the state to make money. So you need to speak you need to speak the language, period. Even like me, I know I don't speak the perfect English, but I make it work so I can earn better money and people can understand me.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Because I was saying the same thing with Ugas. I'm like, certain fighters, your career. Because look at what Canelo. People ain't gonna admit this. When Canelo started doing that, there was a difference. People was even more relatable to him when he was like, "You're a hurtable fighter." Like when he started really speaking, it'll take your career further.
Yeah, even if you have an accent, F the accent, bro. At least people understand you, and you can call out another boxer. You can go to a little trash talk and shit. But that's stupid. I feel ashamed for real when I saw Santiago trying to pick up a fight with Keishan David, but you don't know the language, and then your wife have to talk for you. So if you're gonna do it like that, find a freaking, how you say that, like wrestling they use it, the guy that talk for you, like a Paul Heyman.
Interpreter?
No, not an interpreter, a
hype translator.
A hype man.
Oh, a hype man. Yeah.
So he will be hype and trash talking with the other boxer when you keep your mouth shut, right? Or you do it like that, or fucking learn the language, bro, motherfucker. Don't be picking up fights without knowing the language. Sounds stupid. You can do that with a Mexican, with somebody speaking Spanish, but with somebody speaking English, and you go and pick up a fight speaking Spanish, no. This sounds stupid. I don't know. That's me.
Yeah,
maybe I'm too rude.
That's why I like that guy Caesar. He talk a lot of stuff, but like guys like that, like have somebody like that in your back pocket, like somebody similar. They ain't gotta be him, but somebody similar like that, because he know the ins and outs. He'll talk that, and it's funny. Like I like both of y'all accents. Like I respect you because I like the accent. I appreciate it because it let me know that, man, even with a language barrier, knowing that you got a whole nother language, you still be talking your shit and having command of what you're talking about. Right? I respect that.
But without speaking the language, like why people get related with Benavides, with Emiliano Vargas, Ryan Garcia. I can name all these guys because they speak the damn language. Even Hitchens, he's from Haiti, but he learned the freaking language. He speaks it without accent, so people relate to him and people back of him, right? But if you don't, you're gonna stay in a small freaking bubble. And if you stay in that bubble, don't expect to make money or gain the big fights, because it's not gonna happen. This is the American market. People like it or not, this is the American market. You want to come to the American market, you have to speak the language. It is what it is.
And you got to send me or refer me to whatever I can see, to where I can see that exchange between Santiago and Keishan, because I want to break that down. Whenever you get a chance, just,
Okay, I will find you some of the pieces that they got. So, yeah.
So let me transition into this, because this is the part of the thumbnail. Now, this is the pulse, man, where we're just generally talking about the things that goings on. I want to start at the far left with this duck, right? Because I did a series called "What the Fuck Is a Duck," and it's about time to do a new one, because it's about time to do a new one of these, because this guy right here, he put belt to ass when it came down to Fulton, and guess what? Shakur dismissed it. He said, we all knew, and dismissed what Oshaki did to Stephen Fulton. I'm like, okay, that's gamesmanship or whatever, but like, come on, man. Like, some people, before now, anyway, Ironically, I used to argue. I lost friends over there. Some people had Stephen Fulton on a pound for pound list before he fought Naoya Inoue. I'm like, I didn't have him on my pound for pound, and he was calling Naoya Inoue a duck before that. And I said, man, what happened if you get knocked out by? He was being called a hype job. So what happened if you get knocked out by a hype job? And so he went on and did this to Fulton. He was in a position where he had the WBC interim. But it was kind of funky because soon as Shakur said, hey, I'm not fighting him, he like, well, shit, I might as well go back down to where I can get a bigger fight and wait for the Nunez and Navarrete. Now, that has taken place. And he thinking Suarez got to get his chance because, remember, the Suarez and Navarrete fight ended in controversy because Navarrete won, but Suarez had really, like, hit him. It was a punch. Like, that cut opened up from a punch. So he's back in the mix. It's almost just like the situation with Subriel and Puello and that whole situation. And while they're ordered now Puello he's been ordered to fight Dalton Smith. It's almost like the same thing, except for, Subriel got the decision. He had that whole thing that Mike Cap had capped about and extorted and distorted to everybody. So now he's back in the mix. But if we go back to O'Shaquie, so now Shakur was wanting him to fight this guy, and this might be next. I'm hearing that there's paperwork out there because O'Shaquie was out there, and I'm saying that he was on a duck hunt. Why? Because he has been stepping firm, and he has been pursuing Shakur Stevenson the same way David Morrell pursued David Benavidez. Now, the outcome could be the same. We're not basing this on outcomes. At some point in time, we're going to draw our line in the sand. We're going to make our picks. If we're wrong, we're going to come back the first thing in the morning or later on that next day, and we're going to eat our crow, and we're going to laugh, or we're going to say what we saw, or whatever. We're going to report on it. But he's been stepping for Shakur the same way that David Morrell has been stepping for David Benavidez. And nobody will acknowledge the fact that this man is stepping to him, and what they keep saying, that he is ducking Raymond Ford. Well, salute to Aaron Jones, the 300 member. He sent me something. This is O'Shaquie. It says at Shakur Stevenson was asked if he thinks O'Shaquie Foster will fight him at 140. His answer, I don't know, with the looking emoji. O'Shaquie on Demon Time, that's what he said. Send the contract. I'll sign it tomorrow. He know what's up. We both free. That's why I say I think that this is lingering, but it's nothing in concrete right now. But the fact that he's still pursuing, and everybody is ignoring the fact that Shakur is falling in this category, y'all. And I'm not even trying to be negative. I'm just saying that if this was anybody else, because I seen a video, and the title in the thumbnail said that fighters who refuse to fight or change their minds about fighting Shakur after a sparring session. Guess what? This man ain't changed his mind after the sparring session. It's something that happened in that sparring session where this man feels highly confident. Y'all had a common opponent where you beat the shit out of Conceição. He, he arguably beat Conceição twice, got pickpocketed the first time, but you beat the shit out of him, but you was overweight. There's a variable. There's a common denominator. Like, he's chasing you. He's spelling you. He's pursuing you. And the man saying that no matter what, like, hey, I don't care where it's at. Like, he want that smoke, and nobody will acknowledge this, y'all. But guess what? After the T.O. situation, this is what's so crazy. After the T.O. situation, they made that big stink where he didn't pay his fee. So since he didn't pay his fee and he was notified, we covered it. That was a move to where it's like I cut my own water off to not, let's say I just severed the tie, or I destroyed the bridge to get me back to 35 where I was in title, like where I still had a title. But guess what? O'Shaquie came on and said, listen, one, I sent an offer, a B-side, sent an offer, said I'll get you reinstated as a champ. I'll pay your sanctioning fees, the $120 that you owe. We can do it in Houston. Your own backyard. The only thing is you gotta fight me. All of the Shakurians said, hey, why would I do that? Yeah. Why, he's not moving back down. Even though the week of, in all the interviews, this man stood on the fact that he was going back down to 135. After that, it was like, why would he need to go down to 35 for what and for who? And just this past week, guess what? It's being rumored that he wants to go back down to 35. Like this is a duck, y'all.
Ooh.
Like what am I missing, Melazar?
Ooh. Well, I can see that. I can see that. For me, I don't want to see Foster going up weight 135, 140, just chasing Shakur, right? I want to see him with Navarrete. I want to see him with Espinosa, other guys down there, right? Like I don't know if it's the media want to gaslight us with Foster and Shakur, because I see Shakur going in another path way far from like 135, 130 and Foster and all this shit. If the fight happened, Foster got the body to go up in weight, right? He can go 135, 140, but I don't know if he's gonna move the same way or not.
But the thing is, he's taller and he's longer than Shakur, but he's lean. He's just not, he's lean in the style. I'm like, it don't matter. He's just the same way Shakur was taller than, slightly taller than T.O. I think T.O. as far as arm reach, I'm not sure. I think T.O. might have had the slightly longer. But Oshaki is taller and longer than Shakur.
I know.
So that's out. Like if he decide, like what Tank did with Mario Barrios, that'll be him doing but better. Like if he decided, hey, look, I just want to fight him. I think skills play the bit, because think about it. We cannot have it both ways to where Shakur Stevenson himself said skills pay the bills. Who did he get that from? His big bro. But skills pay the bill. If skills pay the bills, then why are you worried about? If you have 40 and you got a title and you're the A side and the man saying, hey, listen, we can do it at 35 and this one I'm gonna have for you. You'll get your WBC back. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay the fee. You just gotta fight me and we can do it in your own backyard. If he'll say that, but then he'll say, hey, guess what? Well, if you don't want to do that, I'll come up there where you at. Like imagine. Melazar, don't gaslight, man. If somebody did that with Tank, but listen, if somebody did that with Tank, what would people be saying, bro?
Oh, Tank is talking. Tank
exactly.
Is power. Oh, I will not, because I see the other side of the coin. I was not gonna. Now, what I'm saying is, like Foster have a lot of fights to make money 130. Like Shakur is yes, it's a name and we would love to see it, but right now Shakur is in 140 and he's settled down over there, and Foster is in 130, so he has to come up in weight and lose his advantage, because fighting in 130 isn't the same as fighting in 140. Like I see it. If the fight happened, I would watch it. Don't get me wrong, I would watch it.
Look, I got an example.
People will be trashing Tank right away.
But look, I got a prime example. Bud, he was at 47. He said, all right, I'm gonna go to 54. He fought Matchroom. He got that strap. He jumped from 54 to 68. He didn't feel the same way. He wasn't in the mess hall with the chest out talking about he'll do anything to anybody up at 68. He just said, no, I'm going for whoever that guy is, because I know that what I bring to the table, I feel that confident I can beat that guy. That guy being Canelo Alvarez. What is the difference between Oshaki saying, listen, man, we were all in the same weight class. It's just I'm not campaigning at 140 right now. I'm just not right now. It's just that I see something in you. We have a sparring history, and I think I could whoop your ass. So whether it's at 40, whether it's at 35, no matter what, like I want that fight. Like I don't see what's wrong with it. It's the same thing. We just seen where Bud did it in Oshaki. Like contrary to popular belief, he has better command of being a southpaw and an orthodox than Bud does. He might not be a finisher, but he has more control. There's no drop off in his jab. There's no drop off in his footwork. There's no drop off in his space, his timing, his distance. Like he could have stopped Fortune on either side if Fortune would have really engaged and fought the way he normally fight. Like if he didn't evade and elude, and it could have been different.
Yeah, Foster don't let him do shit. Foster freaking shut him down.
That's just a question, though. I'm not gonna harp on that. The other thing is, Going back to what I was talking about right here. We called it. Me and Ace did a whole live about Jao Patai, and we basically said that it was gonna be a bad move. You know what I'm saying? There was history, there was precedence, and I didn't get a chance to that day, but it was a segment, and I'm gonna save everybody today because I already put a lot on your mind as far as like data, information, like history. I could do the same thing because I had the same thing the other day for Jao Patai, and there has always been a war between the conventional sanctioning bodies, like the ones we come to know, the 4 major ones, and the power struggle between them and their promoters. The promoters keep going back to the drawing board, trying to circumvent the power structure of the sanctioning body. It's always been a tug of war. And what we got to understand is that this whole Zuffa thing is a tug of war between the 4 traditional that we went on to accept, that we've already bared the grunt of transitioning, you know, from 3 to 4, like 3 belt area to 4 belt area, undisputed and lineal and all this stuff. Like, we've already transitioned and we've accepted that, yes, there is corruption in all these sanctioning bodies. Yes, there's always flies in the ointment, but overall, we know who's more stringent on there. We know who's like more rigid in their structure and who will, you know, acquiesce and meet the demands of fighters. Like, cause we just seen the WBC do something different here recently. It's just like with the Williams and Payton and the Lamont Road fight. Like, it's just weird. Like, no outrage, no backlash. But we knew that the IBF was strict. There was history, and even there was history with Jao Patai when the IBF made him for this guy Maris Breeders, where he actually lost his strap. They actually did this before, so he already knew what was coming. And we were saying that, listen, if your ultimate goal was to do what you said you was going to do, just like Shakur said he wanted to be undisputed at 35. If your ultimate goal was to do was to be undisputed at 135, Shakur, you don't leave an island where there's 3 belts, yours and 2 other belts, and then go to a remote island, not even an island where the one guy has the 1 belt at the WBA. So, my bad, I'm talking about Shakur. Let's flip the whole scenario, Jai. You don't say I want to be undisputed and go over to a promotional company ruled sanctioning body. And the caveat was this. This is the fine print to all this, y'all. And go to the body on my like button. This is the fine print to all of this. The IBF had told him, listen, you can proceed and go fight for Zuffa. Yeah, the IBF said that. They said that the only thing was, if you go do that, whatever you gain from that fight must be looked upon as a trophy or a trinket. We will not sanction it if you're going over there and now you're going to be represented as some kind of champion or something like that. We're not going to do it. No. So he moved forward, and everybody's saying, because remember, like, you can't claim ignorance when it comes down to not knowing the law. Like, you can't say that, oh, I ain't know that you supposed to stop at this stop sign. They're going to give your ass a ticket, and if you're going fast enough, they're going to put you in jail. Ignorance does not exclude you from the law. So a lot of people are now trying to jump out and say that, oh, it was ignorant. They must have told him. No, listen. No. They told him, if it's not just a trinket, a trophy, something that you can like, oh yeah, I got my little Zuffa thing, you know what I'm saying? I got my little Zuffa cup holder, you know, I can put it on my nightstand. Yeah, if it's something like that, a trinket, something not major, not representing them as a champion in their sanctioned body, then go ahead and do it. But if you're going to proceed, because it was announced that it was promoted as that. Once they realized that, you think we were playing? You're gonna go over there and fight for a Zuffa belt? They removed it. They removed it.
Yeah, IBF don't play games because I think Dana White is in his head fighting so many people that he don't see who is his opponent. The opponent isn't the Turkey. The opponent isn't the organism, or no. His opponent, Dana White opponent, is the boxing community, the boxing fan community, and he keep doing shit that the boxing fan don't like it, so they're not watching your product. Now you take a true champion, put it inside Sufa and give him this belt, from Walmart and shit, and you just write something there or whatever, and people don't like it. You lose a good champion, put it inside that fucking company instead of doing like what Pro Box is doing, that they have their own freaking fighting group and they keep elevating their boxers, but they still under their organism, right? They still under the WBO, WBA, IBF and shit, and they do the ranking and do everything, but they don't make a Pro Box belt and trying to promote Pro Box got a new belt and it's the best belt in the market. No, but Sufa is doing that stupid shit. Of course, Opetaya, they offer Opetaya good money, so I see what he went through, why he went to Sufa. But bro, I knew it that they was gonna take that title away. I knew it. As soon as he was gonna fight, he was not gonna defend the freaking IBF. IBF gonna take their title. They don't play games like that. That's the most I like that one. But that's why a lot of boxers don't like the IBF, because IBF don't play games. You have to be in the ranking. You have to follow the rules. You have to defend the title. You got your mandatories. Doesn't matter if the mandatory is a big name or not. You have to fight him. And they do the title eliminator tournaments and all kind of stuff, right? Like what boxing fans like. But then when boxing fans see that, like, oh, he's fighting a mandatory, but I don't know the mandatory. Yeah, the mandatory fought a lot of fights to be a mandatory, so that's why he gonna fight him. Oh, but it's another big name over there. Why he don't defend his title with the big name that I know? Because he have a fucking mandatory, then the mandatory fought for that place. That's why. But you know how boxing fans are. Sometimes if you give it to them, they cry. If you take it away, they cry. So, but Sufa, going back to Sufa and this guy, Opetaya, bro, I knew it. This shit was gonna happen, and I know Dana White is gonna fail, but it's not gonna fail because he don't have money or he don't have connection, because he will not connect with the boxing fan. The UFC fan is one type. The boxing fan is another type of fan, like the WWE fan. We are different type of fans, and we don't like what Dana White is doing. So that's what I think he's gonna fail at the end.
Yeah. Man, I wish AC was here, man, and he wasn't with the missus, but he I'm not even gonna steal his thunder, but we was talking, man, and we connected some dots earlier, man.
Yeah.
And when he can come, when he come back on, man, we're gonna connect some serious dots, man. We're gonna let it breathe, and I'm gonna allow him to be the first one to actually put this out. But like, there's a bigger picture, and I've always been a bigger picture kind of guy. That's why when it was happening all along, I was like, look, I was being fair when I put this out. Yes. I asked the question. I said, are they making American box? And I gave them 3 out of whatever. Why? Because they procured a lot of talent, but then we wanted to see what they were going to do. Now, did they give us some good fights? Did they give us some fights that was entertaining? Yes. Did they give us everything we wanted? Absolutely not. But like, I was looking at the bigger picture. I was saying that this guy, this is what he was. He was a Trojan horse, and he was a sugar daddy. And at some point in time, the sugar daddy was going to want some sugar. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And now, without stealing no thunder, I'm gonna say this: it's becoming more and more apparent to me that Zuffa, just like we said a while ago, it's a feeder system. It's a feeder system for the ring belt.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can look at it however you want, but these people make moves. You gotta think, the bigger the name that's going over there, they actually have to procure a dance partner to go along with it. So when I'm like, think about the conflict. Now, this is a promotion driven thing, and this is what the conflict of interest is. If I go grab a big name, guess what? I gotta go grab an opponent. And if it's a one fight deal, what is that? Like, I can't. So you trying to tell me that there's no way, there's no likelihood that I can arrange for me to go get a big name, bring them over, get an opponent that's brought in just to lose, because I'm giving them more money than what they're currently making, or getting them active when there's no activity? out elsewhere. It's going to be all this obscure talent or these people that need paydays because they haven't been the most active or they've been injured or whatever, and they're just being brought in to get beat. Like what? That's why you gotta like default over to what the traditional promotional companies do. Why? Because their whole conflict with the promotional driven structure is that the promotional driven structure can't be compromised. Why? Because it bypasses the ranking system and all of that. It's like if I could dictate, like it's like me saying, all right, we get ready to have a tournament tomorrow. Melazar, I'm putting you at slot number 7. AC, I'm putting you at slot number 3. D Calico, you're gonna be at slot number 1. Dev Wallace, you're gonna be at slot number 2. Isaiah, you're gonna be slot number 5. It's like y'all gonna be like, based on what? Why am I not number 1? Why? Because it's promotional driven. Like I'm bypassing the whole ranking system. And now some of it's corrupt. I would say 80-20, like it's 20%, 10 to 20%, just like corruption or rat feces in your chocolate. It's a very small portion that shouldn't be in there, but it's small enough to where it's like you can't discount the whole kit and caboodle because of that. And that's the problem. Like with the promotional driven structure, I can hire the A side, I can hire the B side, and I can just keep having these rough, rugged B sides come in like, yeah, go real hard, but don't try to knock them out. Like it's the same thing we was questioning about the Jake Paul thing and what was going on with him mysteriously knocking these people out who we know have the power and the prowess and the style and the history to be able to like get him the fuck up out of there. It's the same thing, bro.
It is.
So that's the problem. Like it's not like I agree with everything the traditional sanctioning bodies is doing, but there has been a working order. It's like when the civilization get destroyed and then you finally get some structure and then you got an semblance of a government and you got checks and balances and all that, and you want to just rip that out for this brand new system where it's no kinks worked out. You know, it looked like a motherfucking dictatorship, which it really is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You just want to sell out and just go for a dictatorship, not knowing whatever, because initially right now, because the bag looked bigger. How many times we got trapped in history? Like in history, how many people have got taken over because of that? How many people got sold up the river or sold into slavery because of that?
Yeah.
Or indentured servitude.
Or they sell you like the grass is greener in the other side, and when you get there, it isn't. You know, it's the same shit. That's what I keep comparing Sufa with Provox, and I see how both are working because Provox did it first in YouTube channel, and they keep, you know, their own tournament, their own guys, and they're finding other guys, but you know, they keep their group and they keep selling their 5 with the guys that they're building up. But Sufa, what they're doing right now is buying boxers that fought American boxers and have few names recognition to build their freaking, I don't know what they're gonna build because they got their little trophy and whatever, but yeah, it's you're gonna be working over there. They're promising all kind of stuff, like you don't have to worry about your next fight, you always gonna get paid, you always gonna this, always gonna do that. But how, you know? And against who? Against just guys that have a recognizable name because they fought the American, but they're not that good at the end of the day. They just got a recognizable name. And I don't know, you know, I don't know. Dana White, I've been listening to everything that he has said in interviews and shit. And this guy, I don't know. I don't like what he's building. I like what he's trying to build, but not in the way he's trying to do it. I don't know if you can get me, right? Like yes, it's cool to have another promotions that is building up new stores and stuff like that, but don't try to rip off the other organization because you don't know how to work with them and you don't want to work with them, and now you want to make your own organization just because. The fuck out of here, bro. The fuck out of here. Go and wrestle over there with your fucking guys in the octagon and shit. Or what you gonna do next? The guys that fight in the octagon that are not fighting no more, you're gonna bring it to boxing to make more cards between octagon and boxers, or take the boxers and put it in the octagon so your fighters can beat them. You know, I see all this shit and it's like, bro, no.
Yeah, let me answer Let me answer Rob Dodds. He said, do you think the war will affect Turkey's input to boxing? Ain't going to be no cards in Saudi. No. And I said, yes, just look at history. I meant to say history, not history. Bivol and Beterbiev and Loma is a prime example of the impact of war on fighters and how they can move, because you got to think about it. Everybody like default to giving Turkey all this praise and this credit for giving us Beterbiev versus Bivol. That was already built. But the war and everything that they had going on with Russia, where they couldn't fight for a certain period of time, they wouldn't even sanction, like it was nothing going on. And then when you look at Loma, he actually had to go to war, and what was going on over there in the Ukraine and all that, like it heavily impacted. So if you're talking about a financier, which when it comes down to war, I'm gonna tell you right now, funds for war, the check for funds for war, it go out way before the check before entertainment. So
tell them,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
tell them.
We'll give you bread and circuses, you know what I'm saying? But like right now, we gotta defend, you know what I'm saying, everything, because we got to have the capital to be able to finance the budget for the entertainment. And if it's a war where nobody's doing business and our oil is being compromised and prices, and I've seen it directly. I went to, because I'm in the transport, I have a courier company. I'm in the transport industry, and I went to the gas station that I normally go to, and one day people was cursing them out. I just went in there for a little drink, you know what I'm saying, a little something. And then I was going to leave, but somebody was in there saying, you mean to tell me you don't have no gas? He's like, man, look at this, man. Like, look at what they do. He said they didn't renew it. Right now, we at a standstill. It's like they haven't even released anymore. So they didn't have no gas at that location I went to. I went back and they got it, but guess what gas was? Gas was like $3.49. And that's basic. That was like the basic level. That wasn't like premium. Premium was like $4 something.
Yeah, because people are freaking out, like they're buying extra gas. And like, yes, you remember, Roger, we left Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, all this shit, right? So
I was in it.
Yeah, I know. That's the reason, papi, I stay here. Shit, you defend our country. I'm always proud of that. So, but what these people are doing right now, this shit will not gonna last like a whole month. Okay, the way they're doing is way different. Like the older guys start all these fights and all this shit, you know. But yes, now the Hamas shit, the oil where it's coming out, you know, it's a little struggle here and there. But we have a lot of oil already reserved, right? We bought a lot of shit, but because it's a big demand and people are freaking out, so they're buying way more than what they need. So you know, the gas go up. Yes, was. Like, and I don't want to get into war bullshit and all this stuff and politics and none of that shit. But yes, right now, yes, will affect the whole East Middle stuff, right? Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, all these petro monarchies right now in these maybe extra 3 weeks. Yes, they're gonna hold their money. They have to defend their country. They have to defend where they produce the oil. They have to defend where they treat, you know, the treating plants, like convert the oil into gas and all this shit. Yes, they have to protect their stuff so they can keep having income. That's gonna be a stop for now a little bit, yes, but I don't think they're gonna stop investing in sports and what they has been doing so far. They're gonna keep investing, but yes, it's gonna be a little hold for maybe 4 weeks. That's the longest I see it. I don't see this shit lasting more than right now 3 more weeks is what I'm seeing, but whatever. But overall, like if it's gonna affect it for the next year, 2 years, I don't see it like that. Russia, you know, because it's Russia and Russia is the enemy of the world, you know how it is, how they portray it and whatever. So the Ukraine shit, and yes, that happened to those boxers, but the American boxers going to Saudi Arabia and fight and stuff, now it's gonna hold for maybe 6 months, maybe, till everything be smooth. But it's not gonna be a stop. That's how I see it. It's not gonna be like a stop. Maybe a hold for a few, but not a stop.
Yeah, it might not be I don't think it's gonna be a hard stop. I think people tend to figure things out, and sometimes people like mainly, and I hate to be on some CON conspiracy stuff, but like sometimes people create events to cause a reaction so they can control it and restrict more of your freedoms and dictate more policy or whatever. So it's you know, I don't like getting into stuff like that, but like that's what it is. So I'm not sure. He said thanks for breakdown on that. No problem, Rob. But man, while I got you here, man, let me ask you this, bro. We went through the course. We went 4 months now. We in March. What's the day? The 8th. We are exactly 4 months to the date. November 8th. When it came down, like this is exactly 4 months to the day that Boots beat Lima.
Oh shit.
No, I'm sorry, not Boots that beat Lima. That Boots got in the ring with Virgil.
Damn.
And now that's over. That's 4 months to the day. To the day, Melazar.
And still nothing.
There you go.
Because
tell me what you think about like what, because I'm just now like somebody that, you know, I had a lot of respect for somebody, right? And I just seen them and I said, this is what I don't like. I was like, you wait to a day like now saying that now Boots should fire Eddie. I'm like, but I was wrong when I was saying that I would jump, just like I was saying he should move up. We were wrong. And then when he moved up, it was all Boots. He had been sucking down and he just, but he was halfway to undisputed. He was halfway to undisputed. He pulled all that bullshit with Brian Norman and all that. And I'm like, okay, so we're never going to tell the truth about Boots in the move. We're never going to say that, man, maybe it was a bad move to re-sign. And now I seen people stealing, was it Kevin Draco? I seen them stealing his stuff because I heard somebody say that he's now Boots Andre. Well, I think Kenny Draco said he's Boots Andre. He's like, so I'm like, we seen the history. So like, where are we at right now? Because I'm hearing all this stuff about how Josh Kelly has to do this and all these things, but it to me it don't equate to a solution for Boots. No. And it's a troll online that's arguing with me right now. I said, listen, dude, I don't want to go back and forth with you because right now you're talking to me like I don't think that Boots can beat Virgil. I think Boots can beat Virgil. Why? Because the style, I think that's a tailor-made style. You know, do Virgil got a shot? Absolutely. Like they gotta fight the fights, but I'm thinking that that's a style that Boots is comfortable. Yeah, flat-footed, come forward, high pressure. Like he smacked those out of the park. Romain Villa, Montes Stanyanis. You know, so I'm arguing. I'm going back and forth, and I'm trying to do that. But I'm like, listen, man, it's not that I don't think that Boots can't beat Virgil. I think that style is tailor-made. My issue is there was a deal on the table from Turkey when the turkey bag was plump. It was rotund, with plenty of feathers in it. They turned it down, and it was just confirmed in this lawsuit that was 3 times, and that's why Virgil and his manager or the manager was asking for about 3 times what he's been traditionally getting. No more than 3 mil.
So this is the problem. This is Turkey problem. This is the problem that he create. He's paying fighters 3 times their value, right? Like Boots, maybe their team. I don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. I don't want to travel 14 hours in a freaking plane to fight in an empty building. I don't want to eat their food. I don't want to, I don't want to be in a desert in 120 degrees. There are a lot of reasons why you don't want to do it. But because Turkey offered 3 times their value, now they want to fight in America when we can make money, but you want to create this 3-time money because some guy in Saudi Arabia offer you this money because nobody want to, like, okay, I understand the 3-time pay because you have to travel 13, 14 hours, the food, the heat, all the shit. So for that reason, to convince you to do that. But if you're here in America, cabrón, your price is not that one. They are paying you for the plane ticket, for all the fucking accommodation and shit. That's the reason the price is so high. But here in America, we can make a real profit, a real money, and fight. Because don't keep trying to sell me that these 2 guys gonna fight for a unified title or some shit. Because it's very difficult that Virgil win a title in this time. Like, it's way difficult. It's not probable. Like, yes, I see Boots maybe winning a title if they move it correctly, not how they're moving him right now. But Virgil, nah. Against who? Against Fundora? Against Kelly over there in Britain? Against Anders Saya? Hell no, because I know Virgil Ortiz is not that good. I know his opponent before Boca should. I know Boca should drop him 2 times and he should lose that fight. I know Madrimov is not that the guy that, yes, he hold a title and fought and give some problem to Boots, but that doesn't mean that he's a freaking superstar or a freaking Oscar de la Hoya or a Bernard Hopkins. You feel me? Like, he's not that type of a boxer. So I know Virgil TC. So why you don't make this fight with Boots that you're gonna make the paycheck that you has never made? Okay, stop being so greedy, because Oscar wanna be. He think Virgil is Oscar in his time. No, Oscar, he could be the A side all the time because Oscar was a mega star. All the women, everybody signing him. He was like, when Oscar walked to a place, people follow him, TV, everything. So he was a freaking star. Of course he can ask a lot of money. Of course he can be the A side because you got that power. But Virgil Ortiz, bro, freaking Chihuahua Cruz, Pitbull Cruz have more fame and followers than Virgil. So he's a B-side, and if you make the fight maybe Texas, Illinois, Chicago, Pennsylvania, all that Midwest, yes, you can. And in Chicago, because it's a lot of Mexicans and blacks and Puerto Ricans, Philly, you know, it's a bunch of places you can make this score and sell it. But don't try to ask this ridiculous amount of money. No, that's the problem. I think that's why Turkey, like, he did that to Berlanga. You don't remember Berlanga after he fought Canelo? Now he won this crazy money.
Yeah.
So you won that money because you fought Canelo and was a lot of people in the building. You're fighting a nobody that don't bring that amount of people. I cannot pay you that amount of money because I will not gonna make that amount of money after the fight. But boxers don't see that shit. They see like, oh, I fought. Let's put an example. I used to fight for 20 grand. Now I'm fighting for 200 grand because I fought somebody. Yes, but not every fight you're gonna fight 200 grand. So maybe another fight you fight for 100 grand. The other one 300. Maybe the other one 75. Depend till you became the bag, till you became the name that people want to watch. But if nobody want to watch you, doesn't matter how many titles you have, you don't sell. If you don't sell, you cannot be asking for crazy amount of money. Because where that money is coming from?
Yeah,
people forget that.
You just gave the principles of business. Now let me address this. Rob Body said, I think Boots has the psychological advantage. Yeah, I think Boots. See, this is what I always say. We knew when Virgil and them teams said they needed like 48 months. We already knew that that's not a fight they was in a rush to make. Yeah. So it's like this wasn't breaking news. Like they know that they could. They know that the odds, they're probably going to go in there and the odds are not going to be in their favor when they come across the odds. Like when the bet makers, the odds makers, when they come out with them numbers, they know that that's not the issue. The issue is for so long they've allowed Boots to pretty much live in this it's the benefit of the doubt era. It's like because he was in the shadows of Spence and Bud, he's not a spring chicken. Like Boots is almost in the same category as Tank, to where he wasn't really in the category of Errol and him, but like he was a little bit ahead of the Devins and the Keishans and the Shakors, like age wise. He was like right there. Boots is damn near right there, except for he was at a higher weight class.
But
so at this
Boots
stage,
in the middle, like a sandwich between Spence and Boots and Tank Davis, his fame, and Boots was right there in the middle, like nobody was kind of looking at him.
Right.
You know?
It was like the middle child. And so what happened was everybody gave him the benefit of the doubt. Oh yeah. If he just had his shot at Earl, if he just had his shot at Bud. And so for years that was the case. But he wasn't the only one in the holster. He wasn't the only one waiting to shoot. And Montestanonis, all them guys, even Giasov, all of them guys was in the ranking system just waiting because Bud and Spence had it clogged up. They had all of the belts. And so everybody waiting on Undisputed. After that, he broke through because he got the IBF, and then he went on to Unify. After that, he didn't use his leverage to move up. Nope. Historically, he turned down a big-ass turkey bag to fight Virgil. That's why I said, you're not just dealing with the fighter. The fighter don't give a fuck. He's going to fight. He's a fighter. As long as that bread right, they're going to be there every night. It's the promoter, because the promoter, like Eddie's going to say, listen, Oscar going to say, listen, man, you made us miss out on a huge bag, bro. Like, you got to tax you for that. It's just like if you do a deal or whatever. Let's just say you in the streets, you do a deal, you set a time, a place, y'all link up, and you stand somebody up, and they were standing in the game, whatever. If you stand up, when you come back to the table, they're gonna tax your ass. It's like, hey, you know you owe me because shit, you know what you did, you left me hanging. It's either, you know what I'm saying, and that's risky business. So what happened with Boots is he didn't use his leverage to move up. He didn't get a Bakram when he could have used the IBF, and Bakram was Josh Kelly benefited from the 15 months of inactivity. That could have been Boots. Like Devin beat Brian Norman. If he would have stayed down, that could have been Boots. Like fucking with the WBA, Xander. That could have been Boots. Like you had the leverage and you had the ring. You was the prime, like you was being groomed as the next Bud. You was shown sparring with Canelo just like Yoenis Hernandez. So all of this time has went by. And yes, you have the advantage over Virgil, but running down like you was the A side and all that, I was like, listen, I don't know if you can take that posture. Why? Because the stars came out at Virgil fight, not yours. Like Jermell Charlo, Errol Spence, and it was rare to see the big fish out after whatever. They was at Virgil fight. They wasn't at yours. He got Jerry World in his back pocket. He got a big ass fight with Earl in his back pocket. You don't have that. So all of this, the fact that you turned down a fight and messed up a big payday when Turkey would have did it because you didn't want to move up, everybody believed you because you went ahead and unified, and then you just arbitrarily just jumped up, left your leverage, have a signed contract with Josh Kelly, and now they're trying to circumvent you. They done won that strap from Bakram, and now they're saying, Boots, excellent fighter, brings nothing to the table. Like that's like they got a script, like excellent fighter, but you bring nothing to the table. So you're stuck, bro. And we try to tell you, and why did you re-up with Eddie? So now the popular channels, the hindsight is 2020 is to say, oh, you need to fire Eddie. We've been telling you that was history. Look at what happened with Subriel. Look at what happened with Demetrius Andre. Look at what happened with Richardson Hitchens. And look at what happened to all these guys that went over there because he's excellent at procuring American talent and then putting them in with his guys. Though the guys from across the pond, you didn't even get a Conor Benn. And he left. And ain't no answers. Everybody want to sit around and shit on Virgil. I was like, you can shit on Virgil all you want. Now, Virgil just got himself in the quandary because of his management. But we can't take up for these fighters when you choose to be with that promoter, i.e. Boots, or you choose to get with that manager, Rick Morrigan, i.e. Virgil. We can't make excuses. We just want to see the fights, but we tried to tell you this was going to happen 4 months later to the date. And he ain't got no fight, and we don't have no plan B, no plan C. It's like going in the ring and say, oh man, hold on, where's this fighter's plan B? Why he abandoned the jab? Okay, well, what adjustments he gonna make like Tio? Tio ain't make no adjustments for the jab. Where's your plan B, C, D, and E? Eddie, Boots? Other than thinking that people hating on Boots. We love Boots. We respect Boots. We saying, man, that's Philly, that's legacy, that's this Ferrari in this garage, and we ain't never gonna see him against another Lamborghini or Ferrari. Where's the answers, bro, instead of arguing online? Where's the solutions, bro? So what are the solutions, Melazar?
The solution? I was pouring coffee. My bad. I was pouring coffee and I just sit down back. Oh. Yeah, so what's the solution, though? Like, because everybody want to be stuck on how Boots will be shit down Virgil leg. It's over. What's next for Boots, bro? It's no channel out here that's telling us, because they won't say Jermell Charlo. They won't get with the PBC with all these PBC cards coming up. They won't even look that way, even though that'll be an excellent fight right now for him. What's the solutions?
Because, oh no, but why?
Charlo. Charlo is perfect name for him. At least Charlo come back, he fight, he do something, like it's a lot of freaking fights. If fucking Virgil Ortiz don't want to do it or whatever, so fuck it, get a fight, because or getting the ranking of the IBF and be the mandatory of freaking Josh Kelly, because by the IBF you have to be ranked over there to get your mandatory. Sanders says, I don't know what they're doing. He got 2 titles. He got the WBA and the WBO. Maybe because he's the interim of the WBA, he can get some fight with Sanders, right? But that's in the manager and the promoter, right? Like they are the one who have to do that work. But they need to do something with Boots, because Boots for me is the most dominant 154 right now. He's a freaking machine, but he needs to win. And he needs to fight, and he needs to get his title. Or, mira, Fundora, what the fuck? Why you don't give me Virgil Ortiz, Boots Ennis versus Fundora? We have Thurman versus Fundora. Okay, let the winner of that fight go versus Boots Ennis.
It's the same reason why they're not. It's the same reason why. It's the same reason why they do not want to even engage in any conversation with Jermell Charlo, because there has been a media stigma over the PBC fighters. And I'm like, y'all dumbass fans will keep pushing these boxers. That's why I told dude, I said, listen, fundamentally, we agree. I think Boots will beat Virgil, even though they both in my boxes to watch. The Black Mamba, that's Boots. The Piranha, that's Virgil. In my boxes to watch, these are 2 guys that I watch and I appreciate, right? It's just I want to see Boots against the name. So it's not that I don't think Boots can fight him. The thing is, fans and these content creators will get you stuck. I told y'all this example of when he hopped in the ring, right? The first thing they started doing, they've been roasting Virgil for 4 months. They just now came around and said, well, should Boots and them move on? I'm like, no shit, Sherlock.
Whoa.
Like, we've been telling y'all to move on. Like, we've been saying, why did you re-up with Eddie? All your competition, all of the big fights was over at the PBC. Where did Xander eat? Where's Fundora eating? Where's everybody else except for Bakram? And Bakram was looking for a fight, so that would have been easy to make. But how do you sign a contract where you buy the purse bid for Josh Kelly and Bakram, knowing that the winner, and you already got a signed contract with Josh Kelly and Boots, and then after he leaps it, because his trainer, his manager, the guy that was standing right next to me said, man, nobody really thought it was a Freudian slip. He said nobody thought that Josh Kelly was going to block. He's like, well, we knew. I'm like, nah, that was a Freudian slip. Like, y'all didn't think so. He just pulled off the unthinkable. And it was still controversial because he really didn't win. When you look at people on this channel, he really didn't win that fight. Controversy, no, he really didn't win that fight, but he did win that fight.
He got a lot of help. Yes,
he got help. But after that, they say Boots, excellent fighter, but he bring nothing to the table. You got a contract with this man's name on it, and ain't nobody putting their foot in Eddie's ass. And then everybody overlooked the fact that they let Ben walk out the door and go over to Zuffa, where Ben went zoops upside Eddie's head. And everybody want to sit up here and argue about, oh man, you think Virgil would do? We're not arguing about whether or not we think Boots can beat Virgil. What we're asking is, what are the solutions, bro? What is the plan B? We've been on this shit for 4 months, and our commodity, a guy who I can take an hour and a half and be up there at his gym or go see his fight at the Lincoln Financial or wherever, Wells Fargo, I could be there in an hour and a half. I want to know what's going on with our talent that you got control of, Eddie, and nobody has a solution. Even all them channels in Philly, nobody's telling us what's next with Boots. They said, oh, y'all just hate. It's like, no, we want to know what's next. We were telling y'all this shit 4 months ago. I said, don't hold your breath. Don't get your blood pressure high. That's why they call this fruits and veggies, not that Reggie. Because we keep your blood pressure high with facts. You won't get all worked up knowing that they can't hose you down.
Yo,
what's the solutions?
It's like Boots Ennis. Why now? Like, whoever asked what Boots Ennis have to bring, if people don't know, the most notable name, American name, without being champion is fucking Boots Ennis. The biggest name without being a champion in the American boxing right now is Boots Ennis. Like, that's the biggest, like, you know, non-champion. I'm not talking about the guys who have a title. I'm talking about the guys who don't have a title and Boots Ennis, his name is out there hanging with the champions. So what the fuck you say that Boots Ennis don't have nothing to bring to the table, right? Like these people are haters. The boxing cheerleader, you know, the gaslighter. People like to copy and paste his words and stuff and take it like a truth when it isn't. And yes, it's a lot of people. We don't know what's going on with Boots. We want to see Boots. We want to know when Boots gonna fight. Give me a fucking fight. Give me something. But don't keep Virgil, but it's nothing there. Oh, but maybe with Kelly, but it's nothing there. No, no Charlo, no, because Charlo, he was a name long time ago, and motherfucker, Charlo is still a name, and people will love that fucking shit. It's a bunch of names right now that you can mix freaking Boots Ennis and make a fight. You know why you don't fucking talk with the. Yeah, but PBC, because you got out of PBC, now PBC maybe don't want you there. So, I don't know, because, yeah, PBC don't want to lose another title. You know, every time somebody become champion under PBC, take their title, sign with 80 and take that title back to England. So now PBC is more, nah, if you're not from the PBC, I'm not going to let you fight for a title. I don't want you to take my title away. I don't know. Maybe that's going on too.
Yeah, you know, but the funny thing is, see, PBC will put you on a plan. Like PBC, just like any other promotional company, they'll put you on a plan where they'll give something to where it's like a fight that the fans will be like, oh man, we about to get this, and then the results of that. Because remember, Speedy Rashidi beat Romain Villa, we would have got Speedy Rashidi versus Boots. Speedy Rashidi didn't hold up on his end of the bargain, and that was on the Tank undercard, if you recall. Boots had Karen. He didn't look so good because Karen had that footwork, if you recall. But if he would have sparked him and they would have gave the nod to Speedy Rashidi on PBC, you would have got Boots versus Speedy Rashidi. And that's why we didn't get it. But the thing is this. They locked into this whole DAZN thing. And I've been asking this one question and I've yet to get any answers. There's like the whole, people want too much money to fight Boots. That argument is too old. It's done. It's worn out. It ain't got no walls no more. It's been beat up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody done went in on that. The thing is, nobody's going to get in the ring with Boots for a Happy Meal and an extra toy. So that's your problem because you decide to re-up with them. It's just like somebody go sign with Jay Prince and you know the history or whatever, or any other of these promoters, like just like him going to go get with Eddie after the Boots, after the Boo Boo thing. You know the history. So saying, oh man, they want too much money, it's like, okay, well, that's y'all problem. Y'all decided to go over there. Why? Because they had that insurgents. They had that shot in the arm from Turkey. That's not there no more. And when they had it, you turned down the fight. PBC is going to put you in the fight to where it makes sense. Why? Because the fight is going to make enough money to pay y'all. Y'all just got to want to get it on and go with the program. It might be 2 fights where you fight this one and then you do this one. But either way, you're getting 2 nice, decent paydays. I don't ever hear nobody crying about not getting paid over there.
No, nobody.
Hold on. So it's real quick. So it's on Eddie. We can't let Eddie off the hook. And I was saying this 4 months ago. I said, man, y'all got to stop with this whole people want too much money. We already know that. People are not going to get risk getting hit upside their fucking head or get sent in the upper room if Boots go like Sun Tzu on everybody and just fuck somebody up or put somebody in a coma. They're not taking it. So you got to have the bag.
Yes.
To pay for the opponent. You can't it got to be something with Boots in his contract or whatever he getting, or B, y'all got to give the people a little bit more money and put them in higher, riskier fights. It's either or. But go ahead. Go ahead, Melazar. I'm like, you like, as fans, man, we looking at it and we want to support these guys, but like, man, we got people out here doing the linguini method. We got people out here arguing about wanting to do all these fantasy fights about who can beat Boots and all this. Like, man, fuck a fantasy fight. Like, who is he really going to fight? Like, why is there not an offer sent out to Jamel Charlo? He said, send me an offer and let me know what y'all think about me, and then we'll negotiate or whatever, but I want to fight your boogeyman. There's silence. It's Jiminy Crickets out here. Josh Kelly, that's not happening. Why? He want to take somebody back over there to that Stadium of Light. But they got like 48,000, I think 48 or 68, one of them. No, it's a variance, but it's nice. 50. They got about 50 over there. They can fill up 50. What's going on? What's happening? Like, where's the bag? Are y'all gonna pay somebody to get in the ring with Boots? Is he gonna go to 160? I said, man, listen, you should have went to 160 and said, man, fuck it. If I'm like the next Bud, then I'm gonna jump up to 160 and go take on Carlos Adames. Guess what? Carlos Adames is gonna honor that Austin Ammo Williams fight, and they're gonna get it on because Adames got sick. So now they actually really gonna fight. It's like you on the outside looking in, jump up and say, hey, I'll take Laura. Well, guess what? He a PBC fighter. But guess what? You got to make some moves, bro. Like Eddie is up against it. I still don't have no answers. None of the content creators, nobody from Philly, nobody from nowhere is actually telling us what's actually moving forward. And that's why Boots, who I like Boots, man. Boots is a cool dude, man. Boots is a honorable young man. No outside of the ring issues. It's none of that. Like Boots got all the skills in the world. It's just the decision making and the team, and then Eddie. It's like, man, we put them all on the scale over here. We put them all on the scale, and nobody's actually telling us what's going on. They just want to debate and argue about how Boots can beat everybody, but we don't got to see it. He get the benefit of the doubt. We ain't never gonna see it.
That's the messed up part. Like, we know what Boots can do, but we cannot see it. Like, I know what Eddie's doing. Like, I don't like Eddie at all. Of course, they want to take our boxing, our market, and then, I don't know, type of transfer it to Europe, and they think we're going to pay for fights in Europe? Hell no, motherfucker. This is in Europe. I ain't even going to watch it. I don't even like their freaking accent. I don't like the announcers. I don't like none of that shit. So every time you travel to Europe, you're wasting money. So bring our fighters and let us fight over here where the money at. Not fucking Europe. Shit. Bro,
but even let's just say, even if they did to Europe, you gotta listen. Even if they did Europe, Melazar, ain't it crazy that Josh Kelly got a contract with Boots' name on it and his ink is on it? What are we waiting for? Scary Movie 4. Like, what are we waiting for?
Oh, no. Yeah, because now, I don't know. I bet Eddie Hearn gonna find out, like, it's better to go after Sanders Sayas that make a fight with Boots Ennis here in the States. Like, where in what world is the Sanders Sayas versus Josh Kelly gonna make more money than Boots Ennis versus Josh Kelly? Okay, because I know my people. I know Sanders Saya have some people behind him and shit like that. But Boots Ennis is a bigger name. Boots Ennis have a bigger fan base because fuck it, like it or not, Black American, yes, it's American race and have more people over here. We Puerto Rican, yes, we're American, but we're few. Okay, so yes, the population and the fans of Boots Ennis is way bigger than Sanders. So the fight to make is Boots Ennis versus Josh Kelly, to then maybe make it to Fundora or Sanders Sayas, right? That's where should be go. Like, you know, the Boots Ennis versus Kelly, maybe Boots Ennis versus Fundora, and then a whole unification Boots versus Sanders. That shit will sell, yes, that way more. But why Josh Kelly have a title? Fuck, go and grab that title. Both guys are in the same company. I don't know what the fuck Eddie Hearn is waiting for, because what I know is Josh Kelly and Boots Ennis are signed under Matchroom. Sanders Sayas is with Top Rank, and Fundora is with the PBC. So I think the easier fight to make is Kelly and Boots, because both are in the same company, right? That's what I think.
Yeah.
But, you know, they always want to bring us bullshit, and sell us dreams and smoke. And at the end of the day, then we ended up with some trash, some fucking old guy that was somebody long time ago, and now, hey, maybe that's the fight we're gonna see, Charlo versus Boots, because maybe Kelly don't happen. I don't know. What do you think, Kelly or Charlo? Because Charlo, you know, if you cannot get Josh Kelly, then you have to do Charlo for Boots. Because who else? What, Backram? Or what? Or maybe Murtazariev, that he won the last fight, you know, and they do a Murtazariev versus Boots Ennis for the interim WBA title. Whatever, you know.
Yeah, I got a call, man. No, but Madrimov, man. They saying, man, remember we talked about Madrimov? I think you was okay with Madrimov. And I'm like, something's better than nothing. You know, I think Madrimov, because remember they said he had the flu, and I'm like, Madrimov don't look that good. And then it's leftover. This is like, what are you doing with Boots, man? Because even Kelly got stopped by Avanesian, but guess what? It was no problem with you fighting Avanesian coming off of a knockout stoppage loss to Bud. So I'm like, why not Jermell Charlo? He ain't getting knocked out. He dared to be great. He kept his hands in his pockets. Canelo made him put his hands in his pockets and had him, you know, on his best behavior, which to my detriment as Jermell Charlo fan, I hated that shit because I know how my man fight. But he's still the guy at 154. He never lost after he got undisputed, bro. Like, that's a great pelt on the wall. So yeah, I'm kicking and screaming against the Madrimov, but I'm like, something is better than nothing at this point. At least show me that you got a plan. Like, you're gonna hook off the jab, you're gonna do something else, like you're gonna do something. But like, you won't even do that. Like, we don't have no clue, and people just want to debate about who they think fantasy box. I'm done with fantasy boxing talk.
And shit. Like, it's March already. It's almost March, and you don't have nothing for him. You know,
it is March, bro. Like, it's March. In a week, we'll be halfway through March. Like, this time next week, we'll say, hey, we halfway. It'll be the 15th. We'll be halfway through March. If we know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? If Kelly and Zayas unify and the winner of Fundora and Thurman play keep away, if I'm Boots, I'm still going to be active if Virgil is not available. I mean, you can't be in the mess hall with your chest out saying that you A-side, because it's just like when people, like, it's just like, hey, Devo, what is it? Is it Devo? Devo 9846. Listen, it's just like in a relationship where a man be running around talking about all the time, I wear the pants. And if you got to run around talking about you wear the pants in a relationship, you don't wear the pants in a relationship, bro. So if you run down talking about I'm the A-side, you're not the A-side. Why? The fight didn't happen, and you don't have the leverage that your delusional ass fans think you got. Like, you gotta be like smart about this shit, or unlike Virgil. See, Virgil getting ready to be put on the ship. Like, Virgil, unless he act right, unless he like do a 180 and pivot and go in a different direction and act nice with the guy who has a contract on him, he's gonna be stuck. He's gonna be stuck. Like, he's gonna be like sitting by the dock of the bay, just like Boots. Like, right now, Boots ain't in that situation because he got a promoter that supports him. It's just that they are advising him wrong, man. Whoever his advisor and his team and what the move they got him, like, bro, we can clearly see, like, through the Brian Norman situation they advised him wrong. We broke that down and how all of that shit was felonious, and y'all really could have got that fight had y'all not moved up. You'd have had 3 of the belts waiting on a winner of Mario. Now, what happened if Mario Barros and Ryan? You would have had 3 straps going into a fight, and who wouldn't have said? The whole media, the world would have been saying, all right, it's you against Ryan. How much of a layup would that have been for somebody like Boots if you really believe in his capabilities? But no, you arbitrarily jumped up at 54, drop your leverage, don't corner neither the IBF or the WBA champion, not to mention you had the ring and all of the momentum. But we wrong. But we wrong for analyzing this stuff. Keep listening to your dumbass fans, man, and you're going to be sitting by the dock of the bay wasting time. It's been 4 months and counting. But that's all I really had, man. Man. Like, you want to leave the people with anything, man, before we get up out of here, man? I know it's boxing on tonight, man, and I ain't want to keep everybody, but I wanted to do something and speak to everybody, man. How you want to close out, man? What's on your mind, bro? You still there? Well, I don't know what's going on with Melazar, but y'all know I can talk this boxing all day, every day, man. I wanted to come on here and give the pulse, man. I would love to have heard from my man Devin. Dev Wall, I would have loved to hear from D Calico, the boxing prophet. AC, he got family business, you know what I'm saying? Like, AC got family business, you know what I'm saying? And when AC got, like, he got a point that we were discussing, man, that he gonna drop, and it's gonna further showcase this agenda that Turkey and Zufa and all these people, man, like the bigger move, the bigger picture that nobody's really concerned with, man. We really gonna cook on that the next time AC is free. But I wanted to come out here and do this thing, man. I wanted to say salute to all the boxers that are moving right. You know, Brian Norman took his loss with grace. He even gave Devin Haney credit for beating. He said, listen, I lost to Devin Haney in the aspect of mental warfare. He said, I learned from that. I gained from that. You know what Devin's dumbass fan said? Oh man, Brian Norman, he just got all kind of excuses. He said I lost to Devin and he beat me in the mental warfare, but he accepted his loss like a G. He started throwback promotions and signed Edwin De Los Santos. These are the signs of the times, y'all. But I wanted to highlight that, like, because we can't turn our eye, you know, because he took a loss and now people want to discount him. It's like, listen, people like Brian Norman are the reason why the sport goes along and it grows. Why? Because he afforded Devin Haney the opportunity of having a fight. The winner, Richard Hitchens said he wanted to win, and I believe if Brian Norman would have won, we would have got Brian Norman versus Richard Hitchens. But because Devin Haney won, we don't get Devin Haney versus Richard Hitchens. We go on and see that Richard Hitchens in the Blunder against you know, the whole weight thing or whatever, making weight and not, you know, getting sick and all of that. But like, we never scrutinize or question the Linguini method from fighters like Devin, fighters like Keyshawn, where they could just throw out all these names and do the call-out method, which I just broke down. And we shit on fighters like Oshaki Farger for moving the same way David Morrell was moving when he was in pursuit of David Benavidez. And David Benavidez was in pursuit of Canelo Alvarez. Never got to fight. But we got to be honest about these things. But I was asking you, man, Azar, how you want to close out? Like, what you want to leave the people with, man?
Oh, let's close out. Okay, let's lead the people with this. First, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Come to Bodywork to get the real boxing treatment. Okay, we're not gonna gaslight nobody. We will not gonna trash nobody. They don't deserve it. But we're gonna give you the real boxing talk. Come back, enjoy the show, and don't forget, the boxers fight, but the promoters fight for the money. What is right for the promoters maybe isn't right for the boxers, but doesn't matter if they make their profit. So let's keep watching and hoping, you know, Bulsani's got what he deserved and take it the fight that he earned. But by the end of the day, I want to close with this. Bodywork.
I appreciate you, Malazar, man. I hope whatever you're going through, man, you get above it. You know, we're solution-oriented, man. You always got me, man, and positive vibes to whatever you got going on, man, and keep your head up. You a good dude, man. Funny dude, man. Definitely an asset to the channel. I appreciate you jumping through and helping me with the show, man. Enjoy your week, brother.
You too. Thanks.
All right, man. Well, we put another stake in the ground, man. We gave y'all the pulse. You know, we always do a little. We keep our eyes and ears to the street, man. We don't compromise. And yes, even though it's uncomfortable, we always come out and tell y'all what's really going on in real time. We don't wait until hindsight and say, oh, man, yeah, Boots should just fire Eddie Nice Snow, man. Like, listen, if you were honest about what was going on in real time, we might not have got to this point. Especially if you got a voice in the channel and you got soldiers on your channel that follow you and hang on to every word that you say. But we talked about the Linguini method. We talked about evaluating these guys and why some people don't demand a rematch, why some fighters can get away with a rematch. We talked about what the fuck is a duck and how you're being disrespectful, so I don't want to fight you. Don't that sound like what Canelo Alvarez told Boo Boo Andre? Oh, you disrespectful. You harder of a fight. You fight nobody, man. So after a guy like Oshaki Father put belt to ass on Stephen Fulton, first of all, you discount that performance. The man said he can get you reinstated as champ. He'll pay 120 grand to pay your tab. We can do it in your own backyard. How about that? The only thing is you gotta fight me. How about that? And you say he being disrespectful. And all your fans point their fingers and laugh. 2026 boxing talk, man. Hindsight in 2020 boxing talk is in full effect, man. People are just waiting. They gaslight you all the way through, just like the Boots and Virgil thing. Oh man, Virgil's a duck and this and all that. Like not negating that the fact that Virgil turned down, Boots turned down the offer first, a big bag. And you heard Melazar when he basically dropped the biggest jewel, or one of the biggest jewels today, where he said Turkey done spoiled him. He said, and that's a result of what Turkey did. That's a prime example to where it's like, no, you said no when the bag was big, and that was your choice. But you want the fans to forget that you turned that bag down that was 3 times more than what Virgil would have got paid, and that's why Oscar was upset. Now you got your ass in a sling, sitting by the dock of the bay, holding your thing, wasting time. And don't nobody want to talk about that. They just want to talk about how you a world beater and how you this and this and this. Well, guess what? It was a guy at 154 named Jamel Trowler who was undisputed. He went by one and picked up a scrap. He didn't fight one time like Bud when he fought Canelo Alvarez and get it. He didn't fight one time like Devin when he fought Kambosos and got it, and then went over there and defended it, went 24 rounds with this guy. He didn't do that. He went one by one, never lost in the division after he got undisputed. And y'all won't even say his name. This is bodywork boxing, y'all. We don't take things for face value. We do bodywork. Fruits and veggies not that rigid. That fact-based content, man. Shotty Foster's on Demon Time. I showed y'all that. He said, if you want to fight at 140, send the contract. I'll sign it tomorrow. And now Shakur talking about going back down to 35. Why? Because the coast is clear? Because Oshaki went back down to 30? And now he want to fight Morataya? So he did a full circle to come back and fight 2 top-ranked fighters if it is true. And by the way, he's ducking Ryan Garcia. Yeah, he ducking Ryan. Ducking Ryan, man. You can't say skills pay the bills and then all of a sudden, oh man, but I need this and I need that and I need this and I need that. Oh, you're not that big, but still, I'm still going to have to put you on. Skills don't pay the bills. You got the media doing your bidding, and that's forbidden. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, y'all, hopefully you was able to put something in your rucksack and march on with, man. I always say fruits and veggies, not that rigid, that fact-based content, not opinion-based, even though we have ours. Hopefully you got a lot of treats. You got a smoothie, you know what I'm saying? You got a nice veggie omelet. You got all the things that's going to help you sustain your vitality. And you've been armed, like top unarmed security when it comes down to this boxing talk, man. So you might not agree with everything I said. You might have been appalled. But I always had a link out there I always tell people to stop me when I'm lying. Y'all can't do it. Because I don't be lying. We just try to be creative, man. Support the channel, man. Like, comment, subscribe, super chat, cash app. Hype the video. Share the video. Comment on the video. If you catch this on the playback, talk to me. Holler at me. I'll talk back. You know what I'm saying? We always strive for perfection, man. We always constantly getting better. I got some new things coming up. And I just ask that y'all just support the channel. We talked about a lot of things today, man. Hopefully, we stimulated your medulla oblongata. You know what I'm saying? We left you with something to think about, man. We stay off the beaten path, man, and we say what needs to be said. Silence is consent, meaning that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So we speak to the things that need to be spoken to in the sport of boxing without all the toxic stuff. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.